That's fine. It's all right.
I'm pretty sure I did it at the same time.
I don't know.
It felt like the same time to me, but I could be very wrong.
Well, we've already done the sync, so no need to worry about it. Multiple syncs negate the whole reason for the first one.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Cruisin the Planet. It is your host Ethan Miller here again from the remote broadcast station, which is outer space this time. Let's just pick a random spot to put the front desk. With us again is our lovely guest Cole.
Hello, everyone.
And our very enigmatic alien friend Jake.
Hi, I don't got a face.
He is but a name, people.
I'm only a name.
What's in a name? No.
I think it's Shakespeare.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
Too bad. Shakespeare's bad.
We shouldn't get into that again. We've already had one conversation about this.
I think we should. Shakespeare is bad. End of subject.
No.
So I have scientific proof that talks about how bad Shakespeare is.
Scientific proof of what?
Of how bad Shakespeare is.
I want to hear this.
If you took Shakespeare as a series, make him a mathematical function, and then you did a summation from 1 to infinity, it would always come out to 2 options. Everybody dies at the end, or everybody gets married. He's predictable, and he's bad.
Yeah, but it wasn't predictable at the time it happened. Like,
Done.
when he wrote it, it was new, and
He
he set the precedence for
is over.
literature. Well,
Yeah,
one
but we
person who
can-
set the precedence for literature.
We can move on from that, can't we?
Yes, but it's nice to go back to history.
Then why it was there? I say was because no one's allowed outside anymore. I say was only because the traveling every year would do all of Shakespeare, like the Shakespeare troupe that just went all over the world and constantly did Shakespeare. The fact that in every English class we read a Shakespeare in America
Yeah.
is a waste.
It's
There's
not
so
a waste.
much better play. There are better plays. There are better examples of literature.
I will say right now, I am of the opinion that when it comes to like English classes, making kids read the quote-unquote classics, like not to knock them or anything, like Ethan over
we can
here.
knock 'em.
You can knock them. I'm not going to, because I'm
knocking.
I'm not
Down with the classics.
Listen, let me elaborate. You make kids read the classics, and like you force them to. They grow up to not like reading. I liked reading, and then I got into school,
Jeez.
and I stopped liking reading.
The biggest problem that I have is that it happened a long time ago. Put emphasis on happened. It liturgically, yes, like iambic pentameter, that's great. But there are stories that tell a similar plot with more relevant narrative. You shouldn't have to purchase a book specifically for a class titled English that needs translation and context added into it from the very get-go. I bite my thumb at you. That means nothing. In modern day, that means nothing. Mercutio states is biting his thumb at a guy, and the guy's like, "You bite your thumb at me?" And he's like, "No, sir, I bite my thumb in general, but I do not bite it at thee." Like,
But see,
that
I
means
love
nothing. That means absolutely nothing.
But I love that
It's
because that's how
dead
it
to me.
was in that moment of time, and so you get to see what conversation was actually like.
Is this a history class?
Here's
Is this an English
the
class?
problem I see
It's an
with that. Here's the problem I see with that. I am of the opinion that something like that would need to be for like maybe a group that's a bit more advanced than high school schmucks who honestly genuinely just don't
Quite
care.
honestly, don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, like let's be completely real. Like high school kids don't really need an English class. Once you get to high school, I'd say just make it an elective. Let's be real.
I would disagree with that because I have friends who have not finished high school and are struggling with even just like general things that you think everyone know or can comprehend, I think it still needs to be in high school.
Well, then you shouldn't give them a complicated thing like 16th century English.
Yeah, I'm up
English is literally constant.
But think about the level of that versus a level of like a research paper, peer-reviewed journal. Like, you have to be able to get through difficulty when reading to go on and do higher education.
At minimum, give them Mary Shelley's Frankenstein before you give them Shakespeare.
Okay.
A theatrical play is incredibly dense. One, they're reading it, they're not watching it.
No,
it is a medium that requires viewing. A poem, short story, or book, like all of the work by Percy and Mary Shelley. I recommend that first.
Yeah, no.
And that's something that I personally did after the fact in a more advanced class. It's backwards.
I do agree that they should not be teaching like
plays.
They shouldn't be teaching scripts.
It's like it's like reading. Here's an example. Sorry to cut you off, Jake. It would be like reading the script to Inception.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll agree with that. So maybe we just
then,
redo the level of where Shakespeare needs to be. And I agree, it needs to be in there, maybe not as much.
I am also
and not every year.
I just want to
I did read the same one multiple times. So
Jake, go ahead.
I just would like to throw a pin that I still think that if we're going to keep English as like a full-time core course, it needs to be completely rebuilt from the ground up. Our education system has ruined reading for so many kids, and reading should be something that it's a necessary part of life, but like it should also be something that you enjoy. And kids, in my opinion, shouldn't be like required to read like a book and then be like, okay, on this page, on like this paragraph, etc., what adjective don't do that. That just like trying to make quizzes to just prove that the kids have read the classics is it's moronic. It makes kids not want to read because you're basically putting a gun to their head and say, read this. What reading should be, and I understand why they don't because kids are jerks, but what they should be doing is having discussions based on the general themes of the book. What the ideas that the author is trying to present. The problem is it's very easy to BS that, so they don't do it because it's
harder to grade.
This clever, it's harder to grade, and this like kid who's really clever, who like back read it and did some cliff notes, can just easily like present it as if he's read the book.
Now I have a secondary point.
Yeah.
The tangent that you're going on, Jake, only follows through if we're talking about fictional works or entertainment pieces. A secondary part to English class, which I believe is grossly misrepresented, is looking at the concepts of technical writing. Like what you had brought up earlier, Cole, is like citing sources, writing out a script, or writing out a paper that is grammatically correct. I have no idea the rules of grammar. And I went and did advanced British literature for 4 semesters.
Now, if you want to get into grammar, I can go into all my sort of crazy opinions about that.
See, but we don't need opinions. Like, as long as everyone sticks to the same rule set, we're good.
Here's the thing, though, is not unless here's my caveat to that. Not everyone sticks to the same rule set.
True, but you need to learn a rule set before you can start learning other rule sets at minimum. I was not taught a single grammar lesson in the entirety of my K through 12 education.
Here's my sort of thing in regards to that, is that you were still able to be fluent in English, even if you didn't comprehend grammar to its T. My whole caveat with grammar is that I'm of the laissez-faire variety of I think language should evolve gradually over time because that's what it's always done. Old English is a completely different language from English, even though we're like have that direct connection with it. That's because English has evolved. And I think that trying to prevent an evolution of a language that is, quite frankly, a mess. Let's be real, English is a mess of a language, which I'm fine with. I'm just of the thought process that trying to keep the mess of English a mess because that's quote unquote how we've always done it is counterproductive.
Well, I think English has evolved in some ways.
No, it has. There's no denying that it has, but I think I think a lot of like people within like literature academia are very straunt on ensuring that it remains stagnant in its evolution because they want to study it as it is, when honestly, like, my whole kind of thing is, if I can understand what you're saying, that's fine, you know? If, like, the whole point of language is communication, and I think, like, focusing too much on grammar, especially grammar that is, like quite frankly pointless, is, I don't know, I don't think that should be a necessity.
Well, I did just realize that we've talked for 15 minutes extensively on the history of English and its classes, and this is an entertainment podcast, so...
I mean, it was slightly entertaining.
Probably for us. I think it was entertaining for us.
Just fun for us. How has everybody been? Because this is the top of the episode where we talk about how's everyone been. I mean... I'm gonna go ahead and say cooped up. You're not allowed to say that one, because that's obvious.
Yeah,
So what have you been doing besides being locked in?
Same thing as usual. I lock myself in when it's not quarantine, bro. That's just life for me. This is like, I'm fine with this.
Well, usually I'm the person who's like, okay, I got home from work, I got home from classes, I just want to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
And Parker is usually the one that goes, okay, let's go out, let's go do stuff. And I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's kind of let me stay home. I mean, obviously, because quarantine.
Right. Stay-at-home orders enacted.
Yes. And I'm actually getting really antsy about going outside.
Antsy about like you want to go outside?
Yes.
I bet.
I am very done with the inside of this small one-bedroom apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it might be better if we had like multiple rooms, but we only have 2 in a bathroom.
Same.
So
have you explored the entirety of your bathroom yet?
It's a very small bathroom.
Trust me, you can find some stuff in there.
Maybe stuff I don't want to see.
There's probably some really fun chemicals.
It might be safer to like
not.
Well, you can't leave. But I've been told that there's like groups of people on how they're dealing with being locked in at home.
Yeah,
The groups are food coma.
Yeah.
Have you checked in on that one at all?
No, I mean, I've definitely consumed a lot of food.
Yeah.
Which,
same.
we started a workout routine today, so I feel a little bit better about myself.
That was the second group, actually, was the people who have created a new routine. One of those being workout, another of those being finding creative outlets. Any new interesting creative endeavors that we've jumped on recently? Jake, you're allowed to enter conversation as well?
Not really. It's mainly just reviving old like hobbies and interests. Like I'm getting more into collecting like DVDs. The DVD place is still open here, and I can walk there. So I just walk, keep a 6 feet distance, pick up some stuff, and head back. I've been getting back into learning Japanese, like full force this time.
I've seen all of your kanji laying out by your desk when I clean on Mondays.
I know.
For those who don't know, Jake and I are the only two at the station still allowed to leave our homes under state mandate.
Because we had the foresight. We're like psychics, and we saw like if we travel, it's not gonna be good. Yes.
Y'all just didn't
I'm poor
leave.
and work 2 jobs. Yeah, I'm poor and work 2 jobs, and Jake is a hermit already. So we kind of just like are we kind of missed it, quite honestly.
Thank God.
And everyone came back and made our life more difficult.
Yes. So thanks everyone else.
Wow.
No, that's not fair. That's not
Truly.
That's not fair to anyone.
I just
else.
wanted to go to the zoo. Okay, that's what I did for spring break.
Hey man, I don't know.
Look what it costs.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know where those animals have been.
Well,
In
they're
the
actually
zoo.
very sick. Have you seen all of the Twitter posts of the zoo letting the animals out and look at the other exhibits?
I saw something about penguins. Like they took
Yeah.
the penguins out and everything.
Yeah, they've been letting them out consecutively, sort of in order. I think most recently the hog,
Huh.
or the smaller. They're working their way up to the big ones, I assume. The elephant went out and met, like the baby elephant went and met all the other exhibits.
I know the
So,
Fort
that's
Worth Zoo
fun.
was like the elephant structure, like enclosure, was under construction, so
Yeah.
maybe they got to take them out.
Yeah, that is fun. So yeah, we listeners at home, Jake and I are the only ones, but we're not allowed to see each other. So this is actually
Yeah.
the first time I've talked to Jake in a week and a half.
A hot minute.
A hot minute, Jake.
Yes.
Because we come in and it is supposed to be, the regulation here is 1 student to 1 faculty member. Those
I
are
was
the
there
numbers we're
today.
supposed to keep. Jake was there in the morning, so I come in the evening. I'm here on Mondays. Jake's here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I also come in and do Friday.
Yes.
So we have a non-overlap full-time student worker here.
Yes.
So yeah, I do see all of Jake's Japanese scribbles, and when they start getting scary, I'll start adding my own spooky handwriting.
My absolute gibberish. I am so glad I understand what a lot of those mean now. Like it's opened up. Like I'll just see like a scroll or something in like a show, and then pause it and have to analyze. Like
Oh, that's cool. That's a fun way to do
Yeah,
it.
that is
Yeah.
really fun.
yeah.
Speaking of fun things, we're going to get into it in a couple of minutes, because that's sort of the back half of the show now that we're all caught up with everybody. I need all of y'all to bring me more recommendations of things to do in case people didn't find out. So while I do a micro review of Annihilation, y'all
Oh my
can come up
goodness.
with
Wait, what's
what
going on?
Okay, last week, Jake, you obviously don't listen to the show.
Oof.
You've hurt me on the inside.
I don't listen to podcasts.
here.
That's like my thing.
Right here.
Whoa.
Ah.
Whoa.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's not your thing to not. Nobody's like, I don't drink milk, man. That's me.
I mean,
I'm
I
the
don't
guy that
drink
doesn't
milk.
eat.
No,
I'm the guy
no,
that
that's
doesn't eat grapes.
No, that's
Like,
literally
not your-
me. No, that's
not
literally.
your
I'm a picky
defining
eater.
thing.
You're giving a horrible example. I'm a humongously picky eater. That makes
But
no
Jake-
sense. I'm literally the I don't eat food guy.
You can't be the I don't eat food guy, I don't do podcast guy. You define yourself based on what you are, not what you aren't.
I define myself based on both, because both are key characteristics of my character.
I'm not a carrot.
Yeah,
Like, you could go on forever.
yeah, but like no one's a carrot unless they're a carrot man.
Jake, Carrot Top, how dare you?
Carrot Top, he's artificial carrot. He's carrot, but he's imitation carrot. You know, it's like cheese.
Anyways,
Why
I'm
don't you
doing a micro
explain that?
review
Yeah.
of Annihilation, the movie, the awful film.
I mean, it was interesting.
And I will get into it because it thoroughly disappointed me.
I'm sorry.
The movie Annihilation, which I will be getting into shortly for you, I would like everyone at home even, as well as y'all two here, to recommend me something to watch, something to read, something to listen to, and something to play. Get me four IPs that we haven't talked about on the show previously. And
You
I'll do
obviously
this
think I've
review
branched
real
out
quick.
since we last talked.
No, that's just expected now. And if you don't have something, Jake can find something. Also, this review might take like 20 minutes.
Okay.
So you've got time to figure it out.
I mean, I watched Annihilation too, so
You watched Annihilation 2, which means it's easy for me to bounce off of you, so Jake really needs to come in with some solid recommendations at the
Okay,
end, or his
okay.
homework grade is going to be a 0.
Okay, what are the things I need to recommend again? 'Cause I
Something
can't.
to watch, something to read, something to listen to, and something to play.
Okay.
Cool?
Okay.
Alright, Cole.
yes,
The movie Annihilation.
yes.
Okay, we'll do a non-spoiler, then a spoiler. Non-spoiler, what are your thoughts?
I
very
thought it was
disappointed.
beautiful.
It looks nice.
Aesthetically, I think it's beautiful.
I feel so bad for the director of photography and the set designers because they did all of the work.
they did amazing, honestly.
They literally did all of the work.
If
there was no money for the poor VFX kid.
If the story had been, like, if the script itself had been written differently, like if it had a different arc,
like correctly,
then it would have been a major hit.
Perfect.
Like Avatar. Like Avatar was beautiful, and it had a storyline. So
yeah, this definitely it was Fern Gully.
Yeah,
it was Fern Gully,
but better.
But cooler looking.
Yes.
This movie has, so the basic premise before we get into spoiler stuff, Annihilation is a professor biologist is brought in to a team to go into this like bubble. It very much looks like a soap bubble.
It's
that
called
is growing really
the Shimmer
slowly.
because it looks like a shimmering bubble.
And that's about it. They just call it the Shimmer.
Yeah, they call it the Shimmer. It was in the description, but
all right. Slow down. Don't. We're on the same team here. It's us against this freaking movie.
Okay.
So they go into the Shimmer, and on the way in, they find a lot of anomalies that are affecting the life inside of it. And do they find the camera in the trailer or not? I don't remember. But I don't want to get direct. I don't want to immediately sink into spoilers. But like the camera scene and stuff.
I don't know.
I'll pull up the trailer real quick so I can.
I don't remember the trailer.
Not spoil things. Here's the official trailer. Is it a
screen share?
Okay. No, I can't screen share. Oh, that's right. So in the setup is we're able to see that she's returned from the Shimmer. Mm. That's the opening scene.
Yeah,
of the
movie.
Opening. We're not giving anything away here. She's already returned.
She's woken and like.
Yeah, she's being interrogated, and they're like, can you tell us what happened? So it's a remembering everything that went on previous.
Yeah, and they're basically asking a bunch of questions like, where's the rest of your team?
And she went in because her husband comes back, and he's messed up. He's like intensive ICU on this secret, like top secret facility base, and they're like, he went into there. So then she decides she's gonna go into there, and then, trouble and beauty ensues. They end up. I don't know. I want to get into spoilers just so I can start like breaking down.
Yeah. Here's the thing: the movie's. When was the movie released? Like 2010s?
2017 is when the announcement came out. Like, this is a very recent film.
It's a recent film, but you if you have Amazon Prime Video, it's on there for free. Like,
yeah,
you can find it
for free. It's on Hulu.
It's been places.
It was on Netflix for a while. Like, it's made its third or second round back through the streaming stuff.
So we should be free to talk spoilers. If you haven't watched it and you super want to watch it, just
real quick, would you recommend it or would you not recommend it to your friends?
Mostly no.
Okay.
But I would recommend it for the different creatures and everything because I think it's really cool and the production value. It's very pretty, and I really want people to see the stuff.
That's the problem.
I don't think the story arc is really worth watching. I wouldn't watch it again.
Wouldn't watch it again. Okay. I'm along the same line. I mean,
they put some big name actresses in there.
They did, but Natalie Portman and who's the guy?
The other
Poe Dameron. Yeah. He's Poe Dameron is the other male actor who's in it. Okay, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't have recommended going into like theaters to watch it. I would have definitely waited till it's entirely free and on streaming, which it is. But even then, I'd watch it like during the day. It's not something that you'd want to watch right before bed or like, It's something you'd watch if you have nothing else to do.
Which
It's
quarantine.
literally better than nothing. Right now.
If you have like any sort of panic disorder, though, I would recommend not watching it.
Oh.
Or paranoia disorder, wouldn't watch it. Yeah.
Just because of the.
Just as a warning
ending?
for people, the ending mostly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's like watching Us.
The ending. All right, let's get in. Okay, spoilers now. So we're just free to talk about whatever. We're not going to do a plot synopsis. This is a micro review. Here's the deal. I don't like. Okay. I watched this with my buddy, Tim. We eat food and watch movies at the same time. It's kind of like the one thing that I do for social interaction in town. Because we're essential workers. So we were watching this, and it is dreadfully slow, and you could pick out like all of the character flaws on the main team. That like we're given this team of female scientists, right? Mm-hmm. That go in, and at first I was like, I think right whenever they talked about it, at first they were like, "Oh, girl power moment," and they were all like, "No, we're just scientists." I liked that.
Yeah, me too.
That was cool that they like broke that down easy. What I didn't like is the lack of like team that they had. There was just they were just non-characters effectively. So whenever they got attacked by the crocodile, it was like a nothing. Also, the crocodile attacked her bag, not her. I was really expecting her to be like messed up by that scene, and she just wasn't. And so it didn't like raise the stakes or anything. All it did was that whole like scene, that like quote unquote action scene of the crocodile shark that attacked them. All it did was show that Natalie Portman used to be a soldier because she did the like soldier stance while shooting, and that sharks and crocodiles have been like interbreeding, because at that moment we didn't know what the Shimmer was doing.
Right.
And quite honestly, I still don't know because of the glass trees at the end.
Yeah. Well, okay, I have a theory about that one.
Go ahead.
So, you know how sand, when like it's pressurized or whatever, it has crystals, right?
Turns into glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quartz crystals mixed in with other things.
So the Shimmer affects things in certain ways and multiplies them.
Yes.
Or whatever. So glass trees.
See, here's the only problem I have with that, and it's the part that when they started including biology. And I was talking to this to Tim, and he was like, "Ethan, you're upset that they're breaking their own rules, but very obviously there are no real rules." A good part of storytelling and world building is building out the rules and then following them in an interesting way. Okay?
Yeah.
They set up the rules such that old cells weren't affected, and we see this whenever she takes her own blood. Her blood cell splits, and the old cell is the same, but the new cell that
is
splits
different
off of it is the prismatic one, that's the different one. And what they come later on to explain is that the Shimmer is like a prism, and it's causing DNA to get reflected onto other DNA and stuff like that. We're not seeing anything that isn't changing. Like, the reason that this is important is because the system, the rule that they've put in place within the Shimmer is that anything that is already going to change will change unpredictably. That's what it says. Sand is static. It's not undergoing mitosis. It doesn't grow anything new off of it. So I totally get why it's changing biology, and I love the ways that it was changing biology. The bear, I think, was super cool.
I loved the bear. That was cool.
Sick. They did a really bad job explaining it, though.
Yeah.
So, like, in the film, there's a bear that sneaks up on them early on and attacks one of their
party members.
Teammates.
Yeah.
One of their members kills her, and then it hunts them down. It follows them back, and the way that it was able to confuse them is it made the scream of their teammate that the bear had killed earlier.
Basically, like a Mockingjay from the Hunger Games.
Effectively, it was like Mockingbirds in real life as well.
Yes.
What it did
but
was
an exact copy of
it
what was
performed
said.
mimicry. I mean, it wasn't an exact copy because you could hear the bareness in the.
Yeah, once it got
yell.
closer.
Yeah, but what it looks very much like is mimicry from predatory animals and animals that try to trap you. But also, what it showed is that, like, whenever it bit into her shoulder,
Yeah.
the one character who turned into flowers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. It bit her, which shows me, at first, Tim and I had the hypothesis of the reason that the alligator had attacked is because it's in pain, because it's like growing all of these shark teeth in its mouth, and it looks like it's, it looks like radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
Realistically, like
because it's like a different
mutating
color
grossly.
and yeah.
Yeah, it was all paled out and like scales were falling out, and we were like, okay, it's injured, so it doesn't know what to do, and it's going straight territorial protective mode. Because crocodiles are like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So they are pure instincts, like logical gates and everything. They don't have interpretations of things. So it was we were like, okay, it's protecting itself. The same thing with the bear. We were like, okay, the bear is protecting itself. But then it followed them. It used mimicry to hunt them, which is where I was like, that's when it got into the weird part of, okay, it's changing people, or it's changing things, and like evolving them in a way. It's adapting them up and up. Because I think in one of the promotions for this film, it was talking about like it's evolving us while we're in it. But then the lady turns into flowers, and that other guy, the military guy who got his stomach cut open, early in, or on the video that they find, he turned into fungus,
which is a de-evolution.
Which is, at first we thought, oh, transcendent. He like forgoes his human body. But then we find the alien ship, and turns out it was aliens. After the flower lady. After there's one of the characters who just like looks at her arms and she's getting all veiny, and we're like, ooh, she's real sick. This was after the bear attack.
That wasn't veins, it was cuts.
Well, that's the thing, is like she starts walking away and her skin peels off and there's just vines growing out of her.
Yeah.
And she just turns into a flower person.
Yeah, I didn't
just straight up.
Why did that happen? I don't know.
They just had to remove cast members as they go.
I guess.
Like, it just flowcharts down to like only the last two.
We couldn't see a different cool predator like the bear. Like
I was hoping like a hawk thing.
Yeah. I don't know, something from the sky.
Predatory bird, but no, we got water and forest and flower.
I mean, I think the humanoid flower thing was really cool, and it follows the whole evolution thing that you're going on. They're evolving to look more like human. But then a human going down to flowers, it's not.
And that's whenever they explain the theory of like, oh, because the theory that they had internally come up with, and it's the one that the audience is presumed to believe, is that inside of this bubble, everything is prismed off of everything else. So anything can turn into anything while it's in here. So you can have the guy can turn into fungus. That girl can turn into flowers. The bear can... I think their explanation was like, in killing her, it absorbed part of her.
Yeah.
And flower chick, she just like became a flower. The bear kills the fourth member of the cast, or of the team. And then so like all of it breaks down, and it gets just to the last, the main scientist lady and our main character Natalie Portman, and she walks over to the lighthouse, and that's where this like meteor alien group had eventually hit the first time. At the beginning of the film, we're seeing like a meteor flying in, and it hits, and the shimmer grows from that. And so we walk in, and we find this camera and this skeleton. And I immediately guessed it. But then she opens up the camera, and it shows her husband on the other side talking to someone behind the camera. And then he cracks a white phosphorus grenade, blows it up on himself, and then a clone of him walks out from behind the camera, looks into it, and then leaves. So we know that the alien, or not the now we know it's an alien. The life form that was talking to her in the beginning of the film, when she's first like dragged into this, and the one who's like injured and made it out, is not her husband. Then she goes down into the actual crash site, and the lady that was trying to figure the whole thing out, the head scientist, she gets turned into like a Tesseract machine by the aliens.
Yeah, it was really weird, but it was like an organic kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a fractal being.
Yeah, if you can imagine like silly putty and then putting a hole in it and then it just moving. I don't know.
And it flowing through. Look up like fractal animations or like non-Euclidean geometry, and that's what you get. It's a cloud. It's like a cucumber looking thing, like a sea cucumber flipping in on itself. Anyways, we get to that point, and then it turns into a metallic, like shimmery thing, like humanoid figure.
Yeah.
And then it starts attacking her. Well, it doesn't attack
her. Yeah.
It just doesn't want her to leave. And she tries to fight it until it turns into an exact clone of her.
Yeah, it starts to mimic
her. Color. It starts to mimic her. It's trying to like learn from her essentially. And then she gives it a white phosphorus grenade, sets it off, runs out, and it explodes on the creature. And then the creature goes back into the hole and everything starts burning. And that's where she ends the interview with the people. And then she goes to talk to her husband. And then it turns out that both of them were aliens.
Okay, at the very least, I don't think she was an alien at the end.
Then why?
I'm thinking it just because of that the way they set it up with everyone not being all the same as they were before. I think she had so much of other people and of the shimmer itself.
From the shimmer itself.
Or the alien that reflected back into her, that she was the same person, but not the same person.
She's still Natalie Portman, but she's changed from the thing.
And you noticed the tattoo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it was like a Ouroboros.
Yeah, she almost like gained from each of her teammates different aspects of them, as well as the alien, and then she was like, I don't know who I am.
Wait, so that tattoo...
She didn't have that tattoo in the beginning. That tattoo was on Anya.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's different, and it only makes it worse.
Yeah.
Okay, it's cool, but what I figured out at the end of... Because Tim and I were talking, we're like, okay, last scene... What does it mean? Are the aliens here to enlighten us? Because you don't mimic someone if you're trying to destroy them. You just let the shimmer envelop the whole planet, and you've won. Right? You just play the waiting game. That's all you have to do. You just kill anything that enters the shimmer, and you're good. And the shimmer takes care of everyone anyways, so you just chill. If it's annihilation, like the lady had said. Oh, by the way, like 47 minutes into the movie is when we finally get the title of it. She just says the word annihilation and then explodes, and we're just like, we're done. We're free. Yeah, Jake.
You ever watch CinemaSins? Every time it says the title in the movie, it's like, ding.
Yeah, we did it. So, if it is annihilation, they've kind of already won, because there's no way to like stop the shimmer until it just like stopped with the aliens. So like they could have just chilled out for a bit, but instead that extra alien that was showing up wanted mimicry. It wanted to learn from her. And we kept thinking, okay, if you wanted to bring someone to a higher like plane of existence or understanding, you would first learn about them, so that then they have empathy and you can learn about you.
Yeah.
Right? Which is why it was kind of interesting that the alien dude showed up and is like, all right, now I'm here to learn. But it's all convoluted, and none of it makes any sense.
Well, do you think if they didn't have the aspect of like the chick turning into flowers or the de-evolution aspect, that it would have made more sense if they had added different elements of evolution? And that
Here's
would
the
make
deal.
more sense? I don't know.
Here's what I kind of figured out. Knowing how production works, we've produced a lot of videos and such.
Yeah.
I think the original script was this long. And they filmed all of it. And then they got onto the cutting floor and realized they needed to make it this long. You get what I'm at?
Yeah.
You get what I'm getting at? I want to see like the unedited cut of this. And
So you think there
also,
were more explanations about what was happening?
I think there's a lot more of that video that we weren't shown of the military men. Because all of them were turned to bones. The one guy was turned into fungus. The rest of them were turned entirely into bones.
Yeah, they were just gone.
And that's never shown. They were cooked, except for that one guy. He was the most fine out of all of them. Then they needed to explain more of what the Shimmer was doing. And I feel like they did at some point because all the scientists kind of understood. They kind of got it, except for the audience.
Yeah.
At least I felt so.
Yeah, I could have done
'Cause
with a
every
bit
ti-
more explanation.
Every time they explained it, it was a little bit different, and
Yeah.
that's not very cool. So,
And also, were they only 2 aliens? Like, is that what we're
yeah,
saying here?
I think that
If
was it. There's
that's-
only 2.
I don't know.
Anyways, really cool concept, done poorly for more than likely a number of production reasons. Go watch it on streaming if you have the time.
Yes.
We'll figure something out next week. I watched almost all the Resident Evil movies last week. Because I
Where'd
hate
you find
myself.
those?
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
I've never seen them, so figure. Might as
They're
well.
bad.
Oh.
They're
Play the
fun.
games.
Okay. Watch them as like to hate them.
Okay.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't make any sense.
I mean, I
They're
still
bad.
enjoyed myself with Annihilation. It was just.
No, these ones are like they
Just-
are bad.
Please just actually just play the games. The games are like genuinely really good.
I mean, I've heard of the games.
All right,
They're really good.
Jake, you've
It's
had
Jake's
enough
turn to
time.
talk.
You
I've been
have, yeah, you've got about 20 minutes max here because Cole has to leave soon.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm gonna leave at
Um,
3.
Yep.
That's-
So you've got about 9 minutes. Recommend us some things. Give me an
Okay.
elevator pitch on each of them.
Okay, you have to like read the things out that I need to recommend.
What to
I got
watch,
them.
Jake?
What to watch? I came up with King of the Hill. Like, just rewatch King of the Hill because my kind of justification for this and what to read is based on we're gonna be stuck inside. Like,
Okay.
I think it'd be a really neat kind of experiment, or not even experiment, but I think it'd be just really good to just get some like entertainment in that involves people being outside. And so I chose like King of the Hill because I feel like King of the Hill is a pretty solid slice of life that has like it's outside and it's about people just kind of doing what they do. It's ordinary people being thrown into like
Set
weird
in Texas,
situations.
right?
Yeah,
Some
it
small
is.
town in Texas.
Yeah, Arlen, Texas, which is not real, unfortunately. I wish it was. That'd be pretty cool. But
Or is it?
Arlington. I always thought it was Arlington, but no, it's Arlen. It's
Well,
different,
it
but-
kind of is Arlington.
It's like suburban Arlington, but yeah, I would say King of the Hill is my what to watch recommend.
What to read?
I went what to read. This is another like sort of outdoorsy slice of life. I went with Yotsuba and. Are you familiar with Yotsuba and?
I am not. What is it, Jake?
Okay, so Yotsuba and.
Sell it to me.
Okay, have you ever watched or read the anime or manga Azumanga Dao?
No.
Okay, so the guy who wrote that's like considered one of the Azumanga Dao.
Is there an
one of the
English
best-
title for that too?
People just know it as Azumanga Dao.
Okay, I just know
Okay.
some anime
That's
and
fine.
manga can both. But
It's I know it has like the name of the guy who wrote it in the title, but Yotsuba and is a project that the guy who wrote that did, and it was never adapted into an anime specifically because the guy was like, there's no way I can make this animated and have it maintain the same charm that he was going for. And it's just like a cute, fun, like slice of life about this little girl named Yotsuba. and her dad and her neighbors, and they just do like fun little adventures together. And
it's a slice of life.
It's a slice of life, and it's just fun and cute. And
it's
I've always
the reason everyone's playing Animal Crossing right now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
slice of life.
I guess.
Speaking of, what
yeah.
to play, Jake?
Honestly, I'm just recommending this because it's what I got recently. I recently bought Modern Warfare because all my friends were playing it, and
the newest.
Yeah, like
wow, peer
the
pressure at its
the new one.
finest.
I mean, I've been planning on buying it regardless. Don't pull that on me.
I mean, multiplayer video games. Like when I get my Wi-Fi card, my building was struck by lightning recently, so I've had no Wi-Fi.
What?
Yeah, just for fun. We got hit by lightning, and then we got locked in our houses.
Well, the big reason why... Here's, like, the primary reason why I bought it and why I think other people should buy it is because it has cross-platform play.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a PlayStation, your friend has an Xbox, and your other friend has a PC, you can all connect in a lobby and play, even though you have different systems.
So, like because of that reason, I'm fixing up my computer to run on Wi-Fi so I can play Dauntless with my other friends who are on Xbox and PC.
Yeah.
It's not peer pressure, Cole. It's being part of your friends.
Yeah.
It's interacting with them in a different way because we're not allowed to touch each other.
Because, like, I'm on PC. My friend has a PlayStation 4, and his PC is it can't hold a lot of games. It wouldn't be able to run.
It's real sticky.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into deets, but so he has this game and he plays it frequently, and I'm like, you know what? I'll pick it up. Should be fun. I like the original Call of Duties, and this one is getting pretty good reviews, especially like after a lot of like lackluster titles, and everyone says it's good, or everyone I trust at least. With Call of Duty games says it's a return to form in a way, so yeah, I'd recommend it. The campaign was really good. It's chocked full of multiplayer stuff. If you don't want to pay for it, its Battle Royale mode is free. If you want to download it, it's a lot more of a download if you don't already have the base game. Yeah, the base game, but that's free if you want to try it. Like it has a Battle Royale game. It has like the basic deathmatch that you know from Call of Duty. It has Ground Wars, which is basically like Battlefield.
Ground Wars.
It's basically like a Battlefield style gameplay, like Bad Company 2, but in Call of Duty.
I love Battlefield 4.
Oh, well, I recommend Modern Warfare
game.
because it has a Battlefield like multiplayer game where like you fly jets and like tanks and such.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that would be my what to play.
Finally is your what to listen to.
This one was the hardest because I have a whole lot I can recommend. And it's like you swim in an ocean of music and it's like I don't know which one would be like a good, but I settled on I would say Ween, like specifically
the band?
Yeah, the band Ween.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it. I would say
I
would say Ween is pretty good mainly because they're incredibly diverse. There's no two Ween albums that are the same. Like, they have their early stuff is very lo-fi. Their first album is a straight-up punk rock album. And then they switched to more experimental electronic stuff, some lo-fi, like, kind of indie rock. The next album they released after that is, like, a sort of psychedelic rock album in the same vein of, like, Fish. And then they released, like, a country album out of the blue. And then after that, they did a progressive rock. They did a progressive rock album. It has like this weird, cool nautical concept. You would know it because it had has the song Ocean Man on it. And the next album they released was Quebec is like still kind of a progressive rock album, less conceptual, more emotional. Like all of their previous stuff was like almost like kind of comedy. Like they have a very comedic edge to all of their music, and then they released Quebec, which is like a pure, like, just like a straight, pure, genuine, emotional rock album. And then they also did White Pepper somewhere in there, and they also did, which White Pepper's really good. That's kind of like a Beatles style type of rock, and then they did La Cucaracha, which was kind of a disappointment, but it's kind of like a mixed bag.
You're recommending just start at the beginning of Ween and find your favorite?
I would recommend Quebec or the Mollusk.
Okay.
Probably the Mollusk, because there's a lot more. The Mollusk is a very like centralized album. You can find more, like the most of what Ween has produced sound-wise, you can find off the Mollusk.
Okay.
Maybe a live album. I know they've released a couple good ones. Live at Stubbs, I hear, is really good. But yeah, I would say Ween is a pretty. There's a lot of music output. You can find a lot of it online, and they're diverse. You can return to their stuff and find like new sounds that you've never heard before. And yeah, that'd be my recommendation for music. Is Ween.
So, run down the top. We've got What to Watch was King of the Hill.
What to Watch was King of the Hill.
What to Read was, you're going to have to say it for me.
Yotuba and.
Yes.
Yes.
What to Play was the New Modern Warfare.
Yes, the New Modern Warfare.
And finally, listen to all of Ween.
Yes, that would be my recommended. Have to remember that for next time so I don't reuse any of them.
Yeah, well, you know what? If anyone is listening that wants to interact with us, they can go on to the Tarleton Radio Twitter account and just
that's at 100.7 the planet, right? Or the planet 100.7. The planet 107. No point.
Yeah, no point. At the planet 107. 1007. So I guess we'll say 1007. I don't know. You can find us pretty easily. You could also go go to the YouTube page, Tarleton Radio, and make a comment on the video, because these podcasts are found in YouTube video form. That's why we have cameras for people's faces. Yeah, they can yell at you there, Jake.
Okay.
So I'll let you know. Just a couple of fun things. That's the episode, everyone. I understand it was a bit rambly.
I have to go.
Cole, perfectly understandable. That's why I kind of want to wrap things up.
Sure.
Cole, thank you for going on. Jake?
Yes.
We'll do the closing without her, but also I want to say thank you, Jake. Cole, we'll see you later next week, maybe.
Bye, guys.
Bon voyage.
Ha! It's just you and me now, boy.
Oh man, now we're gonna fight.
Now we're gonna fight. No.
Yeah.
So it's come to my attention that we are coming up on episode 20 pretty soon, which is wild, because I pitched this show sort of like one of the first couple of weeks that I got this job here at the on-campus radio station, and just a couple of numbers that I'd find baffling is that the show is up to a little over 150 downloads total.
Nice.
Which is nice. Yeah.
People are listening.
Someone's listening to this somewhere.
And they are really handsome.
They are really handsome, aren't they, Jake?
Absolutely.
Jake, everyone here at the station, thank you so much for just sort of allowing me to host this show of some sorts. I'm not leaving. I'm just sort of like... I logged into the account recently and saw that all of our podcasts on the whole network... You want to flex?
You want to brag?
We've cracked... No, actually, on the entire network, we've cracked over 1,000 downloads.
Whoa.
For the whole network. If you don't know, this show, along with a couple others we do, is on the Tarleton Radio podcasts, or the Tarleton Radio Network. This is the podcast section, which I am the manager of, which we've talked about a couple times, but... Yeah, the entire network is now up to over 1,000 downloads, which is just crazy.
Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna finish it up here, and Cole's already gone, so it's just you and me, Jake.
Righto.
I have nothing else to talk about. Is there anything that you want to talk about?
Not really. I think this was a good episode. We went for a full hour.
This is true.
Pretty good. I think we've said our piece on this episode.
And next week it'll be a little more structured. This time I surprised everyone and said, could we record it early so that I had a chance to do some cool editing, which might work out, might not, but we'll see. So this has been your episode of Imagine that I clicked the purple button here, Jake.
All right.
This has been your episode of Cruisin the Planet, where you can find things to do in and around Stephenville every week. If you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to recommend us to your friends, or give us a certain number of star review on whatever podcast application you're using. If you want to find more of us, follow the links in the description of either the video or the show or the episode download. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them on as comments, or you can hit us on Twitter with the hashtag #CruisinQuestion. That's like the first word of the show, question. We might just get to your question at any point. You could be the first one. I've yet to find anyone. Jake, thank you so much for being on this episode.
It's a pleasure.
Everybody, we will see you all next week.
Have a good one.